And at this time, I would like to call up the Honorable Lynne Riddle to
I just asked Cottie, this is her day, no question about it. But you know what? I'm one of you. I'm so pleased to be here. And it's our day too. Yeah. And as I was thinking about our day, I remembered something that probably you all remember, and you weren't there, and nor was I. But it was in 1787 that the Constitution was written, and just as it was finished, those who wrote the Constitution left the building, and that there were some citizens of the newly formed country that were waiting outside to see what this new Constitution would be. And a woman came up excitedly to Benjamin Franklin, and she said, Dr. Franklin, what do we have? Do we have a republic or do we have a monarchy? And you know what he said, but I'll remind you in the event that you don't remember. He said, a republic, madam, if we can keep it. Yeah. And so even though I'm a judge and I'm ordinarily in my judge's role as I used to do it, no one ever told me my time was up. I will try to be brief, but I think there's a very important point about this. For the last 2 years, I think we have all come to a new realization about what Benjamin Franklin told us. That it is up to us as citizens. We have a structure of government, but it isn't government that is us, it's us that keeps the structure going. And so I know all of you, and I too, have contributed and have been so overjoyed to have Cottie Petrie-Norris be a leader on our behalf. But let us all reaffirm to each other, this is just the beginning. Isn't it? Yeah. We're here to celebrate today. Tomorrow we need to go back to work. That's right. And so I want you all, if you will, to repledge with me that we will continue this work, that we will stand behind our leader. Will we? Yes. That we will stand next to her. Will we? Yes. And that on occasion we will be the leaders. Yes. We are the members of the community who know what's going on, and she will need and desire, and I know she will welcome our input. Thank you for being here and allowing me to share my thoughts with you. And now, if I may, we will swear in our new Assemblywoman, Cottie Petrie-Norris. Raise your right hand, please. And you can step a little closer so everybody hears. All right. I, Cottie Petrie-Norris.
I, Cottie Petrie-Norris.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend.
That I will support and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
Against all enemies.
Against all enemies.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith.
That I will bear true faith.
And allegiance to the Constitution.
And allegiance to the Constitution.
To the Constitution of the United States.
To the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And that I take this obligation freely.
And that I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation,
without any purpose of evasion,
without any purpose of evasion,
and that I will,
and that I will,
well and faithfully,
well and faithfully,
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which
upon which
I am about to enter.
I am about to enter. Thank you so very much. It is an absolute thrill to be here with you today and to celebrate with you today. And goodness knows we have so much to celebrate, don't we? Just look at what we've accomplished. And I absolutely say we, because this has always been about we. About we, the people, standing up, fighting for what we believe in. We, the people, standing up to make our communities stronger. We, the people, standing up to make people's lives better. Throughout this race, I received support from people on both sides of the aisle. People all across the political spectrum supported me, voted for me, and elected me to serve as your Assemblywoman. I am really and truly honored. It is my honor and privilege. And I think it's so important to remember, I think even in this divided time, perhaps especially in this divided time, that we have more in common than we do at odds. And the ties that bind us together are stronger than those forces that would seek to tear us apart. So I look out across this room, there are so many of you that I would love to thank personally and acknowledge personally. In the interest of time, I would just right now like to ask the elected officials, current and previous, who are joining us today to please stand up so that we can acknowledge you. For your service. This job that you all have helped me get, this job is truly extraordinary. It's an extraordinary opportunity to serve the people of the great state of California, to help shape the future of the world's 5th largest economy, to touch the lives of more than 40 million people. It really is extraordinary. As I joked with Speaker Rendon when we were getting sworn in Sacramento, I first arrived to this august institution. I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. Was I wandering onto a set piece of House of Cards, or Game of Thrones? And happily, no. What I've learned is that my new colleagues are focused on substance, are focused on tackling real challenges and on forging real solutions. I am, as I said, I am honored and privileged to serve alongside Speaker Rendon and the other members of the Assembly. And we are already working on some of California's biggest challenges and biggest opportunities. And I'm really excited to report that we're already working on some of the issues that were front and center throughout the campaign. So, as I promised on the campaign trail, I am fighting to protect our coastlines, to fully fund our public schools, create new jobs, and build a strong California economy where we can all succeed. So what I wanted to do is just quickly touch on some of the things that I'm working on and some of our priorities. So number one is environmental policy, and particularly, as Speaker Rendon acknowledged the most beautiful places on earth, and I know that not one person in this room takes that for granted. Our beaches, we receive 25 million visitors a year to our beaches. It's not just a local treasure out there, it's a national treasure, and we need to fight to protect it. Right now that will address the threat of sea level rise, and we will continue to fight against any threat of additional offshore drilling. The second priority that we are focused on is public safety. And I am really looking forward to working with so many of our city council members who are here today and with our law enforcement officials to make sure that we are addressing a couple of really critical issues. Number one is the growing homelessness crisis that we are all across Orange County. And number two is the need for sober living home reform, particularly the third thing that we're focused on is education. And if you got to know me, at all on the campaign trail, you know how important education is to me. And I'm really looking forward to working with Speaker Rendon and with Governor-elect Newsom, with leaders all over the state to expand access to early childhood education and pre-K. And to invest more in STEM education to make sure that our kids are prepared for the jobs of tomorrow. The other thing that I want to talk about, and that is going to be a big area of focus for me, is electing more women. Electing more women at every level. So a couple of weeks ago, a woman who had previously served in the assembly asked me, she said, "What number woman are you?" People in the assembly, so it's not great, but we're doing better than we had been. She said, "No. Out of the 4,000 people who have served in California's legislature, what number woman are you?" And I have to say, the answer has really shocked me. 162. Wow. 162. I am the 162nd woman ever in the history of California to serve in our state's legislature. Better, and we must do better on that front. It's work that I am committed to doing, and it's work I know Speaker Rendon is committed to as well. We need to work on closing that gap. Yeah. Consider yourself warned, and don't be surprised if I come tapping on your shoulder. I'm going to get some cards from the Girl Scout troop who introduced us. I'll come see you in about 20 years. As I look out across this room, I'm just struck really by how incredible our journey has been over this past year. So many of you have been with me every step of the way. You were with me when the seed was planted and I decided to run. You were with me when we sat around my kitchen table and made the campaign a reality. You opened your hearts and you opened your homes. You talked to your friends, your neighbors, complete strangers. You made this a reality. You believed in me when, as Speaker Rendon said, when frankly, the pundits and the experts and the politicians didn't. You believed in me, and because we believed that this was possible, we have made it possible. What's the Steve Jobs line? People who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. We are, and we did, and we are just getting started. Thank you again for being here today, and thank you so much for your generous donations to help support some of our local organizations. Save Our Youth, the Boys and Girls Club, Child Space, Families Forward, Robin's Nest, Spark of Love Toy Drive, and Project Self-Sufficiency are all doing tremendous work in our community. So thank you, happy holidays, and as Lynn said, Tomorrow we work, but today we celebrate.